I was either a fish or I was talking to a fish. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And we might know that I'm not particularly great at illustration, I'm not particularly great at colouring in or anything like that, or like drawing, or basically art skills. But fear not everyone, because apparently there are things out there in the world that exist that are supposed to help us. And I've got one. This is a book that is apparently supposed to help you learn how to colour in, which might sound very basic, and people out there will be like, everyone knows how to colour in, you just take your pencil or your pen or whatever and just scratch it in. Well, it's a bit more advanced than that. This basically is a book that's going to teach us about creating different textures and different kind of lighting effects. So you know how people are able to paint and draw glass and it looks like glass just by adding colour? I don't know how it works. Honestly, when I do try to think about it, it blows my mind because I can't think like that. Ta-da! I can't put a blob of colour here and then like a little reflection here and it turn into something. All I see is the blob of colour and a line. My brain doesn't work properly. But this is going to fix it, okay? We are going to learn step by step today. I swear I better learn something. I'm sick of not learning anything. Okay, so this is the book that I've got. It's called Texture Pal, your step-by-step texture workbook. Plant edition. Oh my god, yes. And it's by the Creamy Paper Company or something like that. I just bought this on Amazon. Not sponsored at all. And you can see on the back, it's giving us kind of like these step-by-step bits on how to kind of build up images using colouring in and stuff. I just hope it's going to be helpful. I really do. Alright, I've got my pens here, I've got some other pens, and I've got some white gel pens, I think they are, because apparently these are really important for adding like little reflections and stuff. That's what I've heard anyway. I just do as I'm told. People tend to lie to us just to buy things, and then I buy them and they don't end up being what I want it to be. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure that just rhymed. Yay! Texture Pal, your step-by-step texture workbook. Following our Colouring Pal workbook, Texture Pal series takes a closer look at how to colour textures. The plant edition features 20 step-by-step handy tutorials for super common plants in colouring books such as trees, grass, flowers, etc. All tutorials are followed by exercises for instant practice. It also includes a personal collection book for you to document your favourite plant textures. Let's dive in and create beautiful textures. So they must do different like editions and stuff. This one's the plant one. So it's got for beginners and for experienced colourists. Let your imagination soar. It's a lot of reading. I think that's the most reading I've done all year.
Illiterate.
There's more reading.
Make it stop!
Harmonious colour palettes, appropriate shading, and mindful observations. Alright, so it's talking about colour theories there, stippling and blending there, and surroundings and stuff there. Oh, okay, this is clever. So it basically tells you what each one is. Well, I know what highlighting and shading is. Well, in fact, I know what all of them are. I'm not that stupid. Right, a tutorial checklist. We've got tree leaves, trunk. We've got all these blossom trees. Ooh, a snowy tree. I tell you what, we'll start with trees, because I do struggle with trees. So we're going to be using alcohol-based markers, which I believe these are. I'm almost certain these are alcohol-based. And a white gel pen, which I bought ahead of time. Look at me being prepared. And we're colouring the trees' leaves with the lightest shade of your choice. Well, I'm going to go for green. That's probably the lightest green, I think. Oh, actually, there's a pale green. We'll go for that one. Colour the tree leaves with the lightest shade of your choice. Wait until ink dries. Okay, so just this in green, yeah? Oh, this is darker than I thought it was going to be. Never mind. It said this is pale green. I think it lied to us. This feels like a very deep, normal green. I was expecting a pastel colour, like the tip of the pen. This is just green. Okay, step 1 done. Fab. Step 2, use the second lighter shade to add shading grey areas. I don't understand, do I just do it on this one, or do I do it on all of them? I assume I'll do it on this one and just follow the steps. We'll do that. So it now wants the second lighter shade, bud green. Bud, I like that word. And this is going to be for the shading. So we've done the basic bit there, and then if you see here, there's like a little bit of grey, and that's where it's wanting you to add the shading. So it wants a little bit of dark under here, and under here, and a little bit over here, and over here, and then all the way under here. Okay, I feel like I did that well. Oh my god, it's already looking so cool. This is teaching us everything. I feel like a proper artiste. Now we need to stipple random dots with the second lighter shade. We're just doing little dotties. Okay, I can do that. Okay, great. The next step, use the darker shade to repeat step C, but more concentrated in shading. I'm assuming this is going to be my darkest one, and then we're adding even more dots, but more concentrated in the shading area. The point on this pen is really frayed, so these dots aren't the best, but never mind. Then use a white gel pen to add random dots of highlight. These little ones in the middle. Okay. I wish they'd kind of, not necessarily well, actually, yes, I wish they'd coloured them so I could distinguish what the dots were, because they all just look grey. Right, so some more little dots. Okay, I think that's all at once. Finish by colouring the tree trunk. Check tree trunk tutorial in this book. There's a tree trunk tutorial. Ooh. I hope we're all learning things today. Who knew colouring in was so advanced? I didn't have a clue. Tree trunk art's on the second page, fab. Oh dear. I've already found a bit of an issue with this. The pages are a little bit thin, so you might want to put a bit of card in between or something. That says it's your turn. Well, I've already done it on this side. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. Ah well. It's nice that it's giving you some blanks, and then you can kind of do your own stuff, can't you? Well, I tell you what, we've done that tree first. We'll do this tree trunk, and then what we've learnt from the tree trunk will then apply to the tree. So clever. Colour the blank area with the colour of your choice. Yeah, use a darker colour to add shading. Right, so I'm going to need 2 different browns. Oh, I've just realised I've got a colourless blender in here, and it wants it blending. Didn't know I had one of these. That's how shit I am at like colouring and stuff. Didn't have a clue this existed. I just thought it was a white pen. Dark yellow, raw umber, potato brown.
Yum!
What about that one? We'll go for rose beige. So we want light first. And these pens are deceptive. They look light and then they're actually dark. Alright, so just colour this entire thing in first. Okay, gorgeous. Then use a darker colour to add shading for the grey areas. Again, this pen's taking a bit of hammering. The point on it's a bit rough, but never mind. We'll try our best. I've completely gone out of the lines on this one. I'm glad I practiced before I tried on my big tree. Okay, done. Draw irregular lines on the tree trunk with a darker shade. Maybe it wants another darker one. I'm going to have to use the same one. I haven't got another one. I'm completely just copying everything they're doing, although I haven't given myself enough space. Okay. Mine doesn't look as good as the shading, but that's fine.
It's not.
Colour the tree trunk with the base colour again to blend everything nicely. Well, I've actually got a blending pen. Shall I use this and see what this does? I've never ever used one of these before, so we'll see what happens. I don't really know what that did. It just kind of made things a bit blurry and look a bit wet. Dripping down my neck. Finish by colouring the bushes, plant leaves. Check bushes and plant leaves tutorial. Alright, well, I need to finish my first one. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think the tree trunk one worked in my favour. What do we think? Do we think it looks alright? I can't tell, I don't think it looks very nice. It's because of the pen I used. Where was that pen at? I'm not using that one on the tree trunk. Come on, let's do the tree trunk. We've learnt so much. Oh, I've used the wrong colour already, I've just realised. It's fine. Okay, and there's my tree. I actually don't think that tree looks too bad, you know. What do we think? I want honest feedback, because I think I've done an okay job of that. Considering I'm shit at colouring in, I think it looks like a proper 3D, like, little tree. I think the main thing, mind, is the fact that they've drawn the actual tree for us. If I drew this tree, and I know it would look shocking. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this. Colouring day. Proper advanced colouring day. Oh, which one shall we do now? Who knew I'd be so excited to learn?
Oh, it's a Christmas miracle.
Autumn tree. I want something fancy. What about mushrooms? Shall we do mushrooms? Ooh, we're doing a nice gradient on the mushroom caps. Okay, we'll try this. I love mushrooms. I just think they're such, like, fun things. Sad. Pick 3 shades of your choice to create a nice gradient on mushroom caps. I think I want them to be kind of like psychedelic. We'll go for pink, blue, and an orange. Yeah, why not? Why not? Or do they have to be the same colour? It says 3 shades, not 3 colours. The one thing I wish is that it had one that was already coloured in, so I could understand it a little bit more. Use a darker shade to create... Right, okay, so I need 3 of the same. You know what? We'll go for pinky purples. So we'll do that one, and that one. Pastel pink, vivid purple, and vivid reddish purple. Actually, you know what? Get rid of vivid reddish purple. Couldn't get that out, could I? Vivid reddish purple. We'll go for pastel rose instead. It says pick 3 shades of your choice to create a nice gradient on the mushroom caps. I don't understand what that means.
What would you do if when you're okay, so he said yes would go?
It says a gradient, and I know what a gradient is. Right, we'll start with this colour, then we'll go into this colour, and then we'll finish it by going in with this colour. I feel like this is what they meant. I don't know whether, like, I'm being thick and whether they have explained it properly and I'm just being daft, I don't know. And I tell you you what, since I've been using this blender pen, let's just blend this out. Look at me talking as if I know what I'm on about. Okay, gorgeous. Pick a shade to colour the mushroom grills and stems. I'm assuming I want like a different colour. You know what, we're going to do them this pale blue. Obviously these are the kind of mushrooms that you wouldn't want to eat if you saw them in your local forest, because they 100% would either kill you, make you sick, or make you see dead people. One of them three options. Use a darker shade to create textures on mushroom grills. So we're doing little lines. I tell you what I could do with. I've got these other pens. They're too thick. Oh, this is better. Use darker shade to add shading. What colour should I use now? I feel like I'm using too many colours. Because it said to gradient. I don't think I should have done that gradient, you know. Even though it told us to. Well, I'll use my darkest pink then. And it wants it all the way along here. Use a white gel pen to draw sparkles on mushroom caps. I feel like as well, them little circle things, they should have been different. So I'm going to colour them in white. That doesn't make sense to us. And then it wants little sparkly things. Oh, how cute and girly and fun. Okay, I think I'm done. I've ruined that. I've really ruined it with the gradient. I feel like that just proper threw us off. And also, I think they should have done more with the stems. Look at me critiquing a book that's teaching us things. I like it, and I think it's really cute, but don't we think the stems should have had some sort of shading or something? They're just very flat, and I definitely shouldn't have done the three-tone gradient thing that it told us to do. I feel like that's what I was supposed to do, but I don't like it. I'd have preferred it like one colour and then added the shading. I don't feel like I fully understood that one. I feel like a lot of this book is the same. I thought I was going to be like doing, I don't know, something different. I'm not going to lie, a lot of this book is just like empty stuff. My collection book, what is my collection book? I don't know. Colour swatches, oh that's cute. I suppose you can do your little swatches there. So like say for example, I wanted this pink. I'll just colour this in and then I could write under there, this one's P1. Obviously I would do it in a biro because that was terrible. And then just keeps track on all your colours because they do look different to the actual tops. So that's a fun little idea. Let's try like a nice flower. We'll do some tulips. Right, so we're just colouring these in again, basically like we did before. This is just working on the flowers and then we do the leaves. I think I'll go for yellow. Yellow tulips are quite nice, aren't they? I think something like this as well. It's just nice for like switching off your brain a little bit and just doing something, I don't know, a little bit kind of calm and relaxing. I feel like for a really long time, I hadn't dreamt very much.
Is this going somewhere?
I usually have really vivid dreams where like I remember them and they're like very strong, but I hadn't been having them for a while, mainly because I think there'd been nothing in my brain. I hadn't been thinking about anything. I'd just been kind of strolling through life and stuff. But ever since I've been buying this house and looking for houses and stuff, because I'm actively thinking about all the things that need doing and all the adult stuff that needs doing, my brain's working overtime at night. So I'm having ridiculously vivid dreams to the point where I wake up and I am absolutely exhausted.
This is really pathetic.
And I googled it as well because I was wondering why I was so tired on a morning when I woke up. And if you have really vivid active dreams during the night, it actually makes you more tired because it interrupts your sleep pattern. Like I had a dream the other day that was a fish. I was either a fish or I was talking to a fish and I was in the sea and it was this whole drama because of fish things. It was just very strange and it was just really intense, and I woke up just fish on the brain and I don't know, it was just weird. And ever since I started hunting for a house, I had a little bit of a panic yesterday because I had that, you know when you've done something, like obviously bought a house and stuff, and you just kind of forget about it and then all of a sudden you get this like overwhelming rush of like, oh what have I done? That kind of feeling happened and I was like, oh my god, I've got this to do and this to do and this to do, and can I afford to pay the mortgage and can I afford to pay the electric bill and blah 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 blah. And then I had to sit myself down and just be like, calm, breathe, shut up, and I just talk myself off that ledge for a little bit. I haven't got into it unplanned, I've planned everything, so I feel like I should be alright, but it's just that kind of, I don't know, that scary feeling, isn't it? And I also just want to be excited. I want to be excited to like paint a wall and like buy a rug. I don't want to do the boring things, so like I know for a fact the house is going to need like a rewire and like a new bathroom and stuff. Like I don't want to get involved in that because that's just like bleh, like shit stuff, isn't it? I want to buy cushions. That's what I find fun.
Gay.
So I think colouring in is just going to take my mind off it just a little bit, because at the moment my brain is just really occupied with stuff. I want to go back to the time where I had nothing in my head and I was just living life. Okay, I'd added some shading there, and then we're adding some more lines. Alright, use the darker shade to draw more textures. Okay, great. Oh, that's looking nice, that. And then use the white gel pen. They love this white gel pen, don't they? To add highlights. Where are the highlights? Where? Hang on, I'm so blind. I have no idea where it wants us to add these white highlights. It would be at the middle bit, wouldn't it? So I'm just gonna add some, like, I don't know. It didn't show us. The whole point of a teaching book is you're supposed to show us where things go. I've had to guess, and that's not nice. Alright, I feel like I ruined that. Now colour in the leaves, alright. Again, it's in check plant leaves tutorial in this book, but quite frankly, I feel like all your tutorials are the same. What I'll do is I'll do darker stems, and then I'll do lighter leaves. Okay, here's my tulip. Don't judge, because I don't think they look very good. I had a bad teacher, okay? The book was a bad teacher. But there they are. They look nice, and it's nicer than anything I've ever done before, based on colouring and stuff. But it's just the middle bit that I'm kind of pissed off about. I wish I hadn't put the white where I've put the white, but never mind. For some reason, I thought this book was going to teach us a little bit more about... Because I've seen somewhere they show you how to, like, colour in waves and water effects and stuff. This, although it's showing us how to obviously paint plants and everything, I feel like it's all the same. But I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? Because colouring in's colouring in, and as soon as you do something, it's done.
And the Oscar goes to...
Ant.
What did I even say there? I don't even think that was a proper sentence. When it's done, it's done. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's happening.
We're losing him.
I don't know, I found that quite helpful. I did enjoy it. It was relaxing. And I think if I was to ever do some sort of painting or colouring in or some sort of illustration again, I would actually use some of these little tips and these little techniques to help elevate my drawings and try and at least make my images come alive a little bit more rather than them just looking very flat. They always look so flat, my drawings. But anyway, I think that just about does it for today's video of trying to master colouring in. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know whether you would find this helpful. I think it's been kind of helpful. I feel like there might be better ones out there, but it was alright. I feel like my brain's a bit fried at the moment because we're on another heat wave. I know I'm not going to say too much, and I haven't even complained about it in this entire video, but the studio's very hot again. Honestly, we never get a summer in the UK, and this summer it's just been heat wave after heat wave, sweaty mess. I'm baking alive, I really am. It's at the ideal temperature to record videos with hot lights on you. So many hot lights, I've got three hot lights, and then hot lights behind us too. So I'm hot on top of hot on top of more hot. But anyway, I'll see you next week for a brand new video. I think next week's video as well might be another little arty one. I feel like I've been doing a lot of art related stuff recently, which makes sense because I do have 2 art degrees. But I don't know that art's taken over the crafts at the moment. Although no, actually I say that, I've made a lot of outfits recently too, haven't I? So maybe it's fashion's taken. You know what, I just do a lot of stuff, don't I? I do so many different things. Can't keep up with myself.